Hey guys, so I know the lighting might be a little bad right now. I'm going to try and face the window because there's like dark space over here. But I didn't feel like filming in my room. It's a mess and I didn't feel like the background being a mess. So I decided to film in front of a blank wall, which might be a little boring, but let me know if you enjoy it. I don't know, I can film here from now on if you want. It's just in my living room. Anyway, I'm just using like natural lighting, so that's why it's kind of bad. I'm finally going to do that foundation overview, I guess you would say, and there's people over there. I'm still by a window, so you know people are still going to come by and they're getting out of the spa anyway, because I live right next to the pool. This is a really stupid intro. Anyway, I'm doing the foundation overview. I have 6 foundations to talk about, and the original 5 that I picked out. Pepe's coming to say hi. Come here. The original 5 that I came to pick out, there he is. I realized that I loved all of them, and I figured it would be just like a rave type video of all the foundations that I like, and so I threw in one that I don't really like. I use it sometimes, but it's definitely not one I'd recommend to anybody. Just to make it fair that there's at least something in here I don't like. I don't know where to get started. Let's see. I'll start with the one that I'm wearing today. It's the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This one is not good for every day because it doesn't look really natural on the skin. I use it primarily on the weekends when I do videos or photo shoots and, you know, like for my fashion blog. And it makes my skin look really good in the videos and in the pictures that I take. And so I like this for that, but I don't wear it that often just because doesn't look natural in real life. It doesn't look natural, and it's kind of drying. And I found that, yes, I use a lot of matte foundations, you'll find, but in this video you'll see that I do. And I found that they aren't really sitting well on my skin anymore. I feel like my skin's just getting drier, and so I'm trying to use more dewy foundations, but then I realized I don't have any. So anyway, this one is kind of drying. It's really great for oily skin. I'm in the number 110, which I believe is the lightest shade. I actually got this for Christmas. It's $40. I think it's the second most expensive foundation that I have here. I do love it, love it, love it for video and photography though. So I'm probably gonna wear this on my wedding day. I'm trying to plan my makeup even though it's 4 years away. I think I'm gonna wear this one just because in photos and videography it looks really good. So I do like that, but I don't recommend it for something that you just throw on every day in the mornings when you're going to work or school. It's not really one of those kind of foundations. It's a specialty foundation for, you know, film. I mean, obviously you can't be HD in real life, so that's where the HD comes in, is because it makes your skin look really nice in those aspects. Staying on Makeup Forever, Matte Velvet Plus. I picked this up, it's really dirty. I picked this up because Makeup by Tiffany D swears by it. However, she has really oily skin. And so I knew that, you know, it wouldn't be the same on me because I have really dry skin. And so what it is, it's obviously a matte foundation. It's oil free and it's water resistant, so it's really, really long wearing foundation. I love it for that because my days are normally 8 to 10 hours, and so I like to have a long wearing foundation, especially because I don't have perfect skin and I need my makeup to last for a long time. And I still use my Scandinavia spray too for that, and I love it. I don't know what shade this is in. It's the lightest shade, but it doesn't say what color it is. I love this for easy throw-on makeup because it's really blendable around the edges, so I just use my fingers with this one. The HD foundation, I use a brush. I use the Sigma Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki brush. That's the brush that I use primarily. If I don't use my fingers, I'll use that. I don't use any other foundation brush. So it's either my fingers or that, but this one of my favorites. Like I said before, lately it's been sitting a little differently on my skin. It's been settling in my dry spots and it's not the most flattering anymore, so I've kind of stopped using it, and I'm going to talk about the one that I'm using the most often right now because it's the most dewy, hydrating one that I own at this moment, because I keep buying makeup for oily skin and I don't have oily skin. I just prefer it because matte foundations you can apply with fingers and it just blends in so nice with just your fingers, whereas a more, like what I'm going to talk about later, more dewy foundations or thick, you know, high coverage foundations, you can't really blend that in with fingers, and I just for me, it's quicker in the morning to blend it in with fingers, but I love this. I really recommend it, especially if you have oily skin, but it does do okay on dry combination skin, but if you have super, super dry skin, I obviously wouldn't recommend that, because if you have dry patches and whatnot, especially over acne, it's not flattering, so that's my thoughts on that one. Most expensive foundation in this video. I've talked about all these foundations in the past, so none of these are going to be new to my channel. If you've been watching me for a while, you know all about these foundations already, but this is the Chanel Matte Lumier foundation. I love this. It has SPF 15 in it. It is long-lasting makeup, soft matte makeup. This one's actually not as matte as the Matte Velvet Plus is. This one is an okay color match. It does blend in really well, but I find when I'm outside, it looks really pink, like in natural lighting. My face looks pinker than my chest, and I feel like that looks kind of weird, but I do love it. It's the most natural, medium coverage foundation. I love the finish of this, and this one's really similar to another one, a drugstore option I'm going to talk about in a second. I'll probably move on to that. No, I'll do that one last. Anyway, this one's just a really obviously high-end foundation. Forgot what topic I'm talking about here, but obviously it's $55, I think. Really expensive, but you do get your money's worth. It is such a nice product. I'm in number 2 shade, and I love it. I love this foundation a lot. I would definitely repurchase it if I ran out, because it's one of my go-tos. I use my fingers with this one because it's a matte finish. But it looks exactly like skin. Like, no matter how many layers you build up, it looks like skin. And I've heard that a million times with Chanel foundations, and I never thought that it was true, especially when they say the Aqua, Vita Lumiere Aqua has full coverage. I don't know about that because it's water-based. I almost bought that, but then I went with this one. But yeah, I love this one. It's really, really good if you have money to spend. Otherwise, you can get the drugstore option that I'm going to talk about later in this video. Okay, for the one I don't recommend, it is MAC Studio Fix Fluid. And I've had people ask me in the past, what MAC foundations do you recommend? This is honestly the only one that I've tried, but I've heard from many people that a lot of MAC foundations are like this one, and heavy and yellow, and this one smells like paint. I'm not a fan. However, this isn't NC15, and the 15 part's right, but it needs to be NW, I find, because my friend actually got this for herself, didn't like it, and I offered to buy it off of her because I wanted to try it. And this was actually my first high-end foundation, I think, because I was just excited to get a MAC foundation because it was kind of back a little while ago when I got it, and I didn't have any high-end foundations at the time, so I was really excited, and I was like, I'll buy it off you for like 15 bucks, and so she agreed, and I started using it, and I actually liked it when I first started using it. I think I put it in a favorites video once, but then I started trying other high-end foundations, and I was like, whoa, this is really bad. I don't recommend it for pretty much any skin. Dry skin can handle it, but it is severely yellow-based, and yes, it's an NC color. I feel like a lot of people have said that it is yellow-based. It's definitely full coverage, so if you have really bad skin, this will be your best friend for that, but keep in mind, it doesn't look like natural skin at all. It's not like the Chanel one. It looks like you have foundation on, so keep that in mind, and it smells like paint, and it goes on like paint. It literally feels like you're painting your face with paint that's skin colored because it smells just like paint to me, and that's obviously not flattering, or I mean, no one else can really smell it unless you like kiss your boyfriend or something, but it's not like a good scent to have next, you know, on your face. I just don't like that. All the other foundations I've talked about have normal scents, not really anything. Okay, now onto drugstore. These I've already talked about definitely in past videos. They were just in my drugstore favorites video, so I've already talked about them, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but they're my last 2 foundations in this video, so if you don't want to stick around for them, you don't have to, because I already just talked about them a couple videos ago. But they are these ones, the Revlon Colorstay and the CoverGirl Nature Luxe. Firstly, with the Colorstay, this is one of my favorites, especially at the price. I think it's $10 to $13 depending where you go. I do have the oily skin one, and I love it. It really works for my dry skin, believe it or not. And I'm in 110 Ivory, again, the lightest shade of everything, by the way, just saying. It does have a little SPF in it, not a lot, SPF 6, but it does last a really long time, and I know a lot of makeup gurus here on YouTube love it. I know that Nikki Tutorials loves it. I love her, by the way. She's one of my favorites. She's the funniest person on here, I think. Anyway, it's really lightweight. It says that on the back, but it doesn't feel like makeup at all. It feels really nice. It blends in really nice. It has the best coverage because it's medium to full, I'd say, in between medium and full. Because it's not medium and it's not full, but you can build it to be really full coverage if you need to. And it looks more natural. I mean, it's not the most natural looking foundation that I tried. The Chanel one is. But obviously that one's really expensive, and so if you really are looking for that kind of thing, then definitely invest in the Chanel foundation because it's amazing. But make sure they color match you at the counter because that's what the girl did for me, and it was nice. But this one's really nice. They have a wide color range, I believe, so a lot of people can use this foundation. It's really good for that. And now the last one's my favorite at the moment. This one's been my favorite for a really, really long time, and I recently rediscovered it because I found all my matte foundations had been looking weird. Like 6 hours into my day, I'd look at my skin in the mirror and it was like weird, and you could just see it, and I had like dry spots, like especially around my acne, because I have a couple breakouts right now, but like around my mouth it looked strange, and so I was like, okay, well tomorrow I'm going to try this one again. The CoverGirl Nature Luxe is just absolutely amazing. It's liquid silk foundation is what it's called. Has SPF 10, which is pretty good. I use sunscreen every day anyway, so I don't really look for an SPF in my foundation at all. But it's nice to have that extra. I'm an Alabaster, lightest shade. Anyway, this one's really nice. I don't know if it's comparable to the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation. I've tried that one time. Hated it. Haven't tried it since. I still have a little sample of it, so I might give that one another try. And I have a bunch of other foundations that I own, but I've either talked about them before or haven't used them enough to review. What is it called? Neutrogena? No, Clinique Even Better foundation. I've reviewed that, and I'll link my review for that foundation down below because I'm not going to talk about that one again because I already did a whole video on it. So I'll link you to that video and any other foundation reviews. I think that's the only one I've done. But I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to. But I have a bunch of other ones that I just haven't really used, including Drugstore. Anyway, back to this one. This one just looks so natural on my skin. It's definitely sheer coverage, and it's hard to build up, I'll be honest, because it's such an interesting formula. It's definitely silky feeling, like the name. So it's, sorry I keep looking outside. I don't know why. It's really pretty outside, and so it's like looking at the clouds and the trees. Anyway, it's definitely weird when you try to build it up. I feel like you just move around the first layer even more, so do keep that in mind. But I have lately wanted my skin to look completely natural, because like I said, my skin just looked weird with all my other foundations, you know, settling into dry spots and stuff, and I didn't like that. And so I was like, I'm gonna be really natural, and I don't really care if my acne and stuff show. I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that. I don't try to perfect my skin because I find even when I do spot concealing like I did today, in real life it looks completely unnatural. I don't know if I'm just bad at it, but when I try to cover things, it doesn't look natural. So anyway, I love this foundation. Definitely try it for the money. I think it's $9 or something. I don't remember what I paid. I'm almost out of this one. I'm gonna get another one. I'm definitely gonna keep repurchasing this one over and over again. And I do like the packaging. I don't like the colors of it, but the packaging's really nice. And I apply this with my fingers too because it just blends in better, I find. With my fingers, it melts into the skin and looks more like skin. This is the most comparable one that I've tried to the Chanel one. They are actually really similar to the matte Lumier. This one has the finish just like this one. It looks just like skin. This one has more coverage, the Chanel one, but that's okay. You can build this. It's just kind of strange. If you've ever used it, you probably know what I'm talking about, may or may not. But anyway, that's just my experience with it. That's the last foundation I'm going to talk about. Please let me know what your favorite foundations are, especially Drugstore. I always like to find new ones. If you have dry skin, please tell me what your favorite foundation is for your dry skin. I'm still kind of looking for that holy grail foundation where I don't have to buy any foundation ever, just that one. for the rest of my life, so please let me know what your favorites are in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!